All right, we are live again. It is day 4 of Vlogmas. I've actually moved location, as you can see. It is up in my room now. I just moved a bunch of stuff up here, so I just thought I wanted to check it out, see if it was how the internet was up here, and also like maybe the lighting was a little bit better and stuff like that. So I'm really hyped that I'm able to actually do it out of my room. I got a desk now, which is so exciting. This is all going to contribute to being able to continue to create, which has been so exciting to know that this is coming at the end of the night. Obviously, it's a little bit of anxiety too. You're just like, oh my god, it's happening again. And then, but also at the same time, it's like paired with like growth. Like I could feel myself like pushing myself to be able to make sure I show up and be present and enjoy these. It's one of my favorite things about performance is how it pushes you to be present, to create in the moment, and that's something that really means a lot to me to be able to do. So I have been posting about this, and one of the things that I keep talking about is the Human Rights Film Festival Poetry Slam. So I actually got invited to it by Britta B and Desiree, and they're like hosting it this year, and it's gonna be so cool to be able to like participate. There's amazing other poets that are there. I'm gonna like be able to share a list of all of them, but it is so crazy to be able to see that like I get to be a part of such an amazing list of performers that they've just been changing the game of poetry for so long. People releasing albums, people just like winning slams, and just like being a part of that is exciting, but also the possibility of maybe winning $1,000. That never happens. You usually have to pay to get into any of the slams, as well as like you're not needing to pay, and you could possibly win $1,000. So it's just a crazy opportunity that I'm really excited about. I am going to be sharing a bunch of poems that I have been working on, possibly going to do them tomorrow. I'm going to just record them here and just like share them with you guys. And yeah, it's just been an ongoing process. I would say like a couple of the poems are from like back in the day when I like first started writing and creating and stuff like that. And then a couple of them are from just my chapbook that I released earlier this year in February. So it's like a lot more like about like emotions and relationships and dating and feeling like you're not enough. And then the last couple were actually from I keep doing poems from my April National Poetry Month, but that's like, those are some of the best moments for me in terms of like writing this year, and just being able to share those consistently. I found a couple that I would really be excited to share. So that's going to be really exciting to be able to get you guys to hear some of those, and you can let me know which ones you think that I should do tomorrow. And that's going to be awesome to see like them actually performed on these stages. Obviously it's on Zoom. We don't get to like physically go to them. But also at the same time, I think that that's also much more inclusive. You know, there's some people who may not be able to actually go to the venues, and also the venue that some of these festivals or slams are at are like not wheelchair accessible, and like some people have like really severe anxiety, some people like, so being able to actually do it on Zoom, I think that that's actually a pretty cool opportunity. As well as I recently realized that I really do enjoy reading my poetry as well. You know, that's like a great opportunity to like make sure that the words are precise of what it is that I'm wanting to share, but also it's pushing me to actually reflect on how I used to do poetry, which is like I fully would make up chunks of the poems on the spot because I'd forget them. You know, like they call it like dropping a poem, and it's like usually you could see it on people's faces, and like, but as a stand-up comedian and a performer for so long, I would just like continue to speak and then just say things, and then it would like connect to like what the piece was about, and then I would like tie it up at the end and be like, oh my god, I gotta finish. So it really I really enjoyed that aspect of it too. But the ones that I'm going to share are actually more connected with the precise and the readings, and I really just enjoying been writing lately. So being able to actually share that on a stage, a much bigger stage. So supposedly you could have 100 people in the Zoom room and it's sold out. So 100 people are for sure coming to the show. Well, most likely coming to the show tomorrow, including all the performers and everything. So that's going to be like 90 strangers that are going to be watching it. And like anybody who doesn't know what a poetry slam is, they actually judge it. They have cards for random audience members, and then they just hold them up, and then they vote with numbers. So that's one of the things that always like was weird to me, in terms of, it's kind of like in stand-up comedy when you have competitions, you know, like you're like doing your stand-up act and they're like, yeah, I liked it or didn't, then they judge it from that. And it's like, a very interesting way of approaching art, you know, but at the same time, it's like exciting, it's fun. So I'm up for it. I was like, for years actually hesitant to continue doing slams, and some very interesting situations have happened at slams though, and I'm always curious to see what tomorrow is going to bring, you know, like different opportunities in terms of shows, but also like the idea of actually being at a slam again with so many like faces that I know, but also maybe new people that I've never experienced as well before. So I got to talk about today before I get into some poems. I actually moved a bunch of stuff from my aunt's house today, and it was like a lot of the stuff that's in the background here. It's just been so crazy having so much of my stuff that I like. The bed that I have there was not the bed that I've been sleeping on. I've been sleeping on like my grandma's like backup bed that she had before, so my back has been like killing me all the time, and it was just like normal. And then now today I actually got my like my own bed that I had from before. I'm so excited to sleep in it tonight. It's gonna feel so good. I'm like, it's gonna actually, even though I've been having good dreams lately, I feel like tonight's gonna be like extra good dreams, you know, like the cloud nine, like floating and just like chilling kind of dreams. Like it actually has like a huge comfort thing on top of it. It like looks like a bit of a cloud on top of it. So I'm hyped about that. And then just a bunch of stuff, but I got so much help from friends, and it's amazing to be able to know that like I'm among people who care about me enough that to this morning it was snowing hard. Like it was snowing, and it was wet snow, and it was like slippery, and it was awful. And like I was checking in with them, and they're like, yeah, for sure, no problem, like we'll still be helping. They each drove like an hour just to get here, just so that they could help. One of my buddies, Tim, he like came down and stayed with his parents last night just so that he could like make sure to be there, like to help me. Like it's amazing, you know. And that's something that I want to make sure that I put out there to the world too. It's like, this is a reciprocated thing. I'm not just going to be taking this help and then not being able to give that. If anybody's moving out there, if anybody is okay, I can help. I tried my best. Okay, they're just stronger than me, I swear. Oh man, I had to call myself out. I am terrible at I do my best, but it's like not even remotely as like close to us. They're so much stronger and better at this type of stuff. But and anytime I feel bad after, like I had to apologize to her because I was just like, you know, like in movies when they show like the teenage kid who's just like, no, Mom, come on, stop doing that. Like that's like what I was acting like, and it was just so obnoxious. Like, and I just really need to like figure that out and like see how I can be better and reflect on that and be like, okay, this is not acceptable behavior. I gotta like, you know, speak a little bit like kinder with my words. She's just trying to help, you know. So that's something that I'm gonna continue to learn in, continue to grow in, do my best. That's all that I can really do, you know. So being aware of it, I think, is that's going to bring me a lot of like peace. You know, my buddy Daniel, who actually helped me today, and he releases EP today. He actually says, "Peace is in the awareness itself," and like that has been a quote that's been guiding me so much this year. You know, like I appreciate that so much, and it's actually, I threw it in one of my poems too. To big shout out to Daniel for it helped me like. While I was rolling in one of the poems, it like kind of captured me, and like I put that in there. And so just a huge shout out to him for constantly influencing me. Check out his new EP that's on his Bandcamp. So I'll be able to put the link in the box with the info as well. So yeah, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Tim and Taylor. I was gonna say Tim Taylor, Tim the Toolman Taylor. Yeah, like, thanks Tim Toolman Taylor for coming out here. I really appreciate it when you took the time from selling drugs to come out here and help me out. Make sure Wilson comes and visits too as he peeks over the fence. But yeah, my buddy Tim Wong, Taylor, as well as Daniel, huge appreciation, as well as my mom. She made like sandwiches and, you know, helped us out all day. So just so much appreciation and like grateful for like people supporting, and like just got all of my stuff out here. Like it took forever to get out here. I moved here in August, I believe. So to be able to like finally have all my things, it's like, it's so nice. Yeah. So I am going to share a couple of my poems. One of the things that I wanted to immediately highlight is that I really appreciate Miss Annie Carter in the house. Thumbs up to you too. Yes, but I wanted to highlight in my poetry, it's like some of them are process poems. Some of them are like I'm in the process of experiencing something, I'm in the middle of something, and I'm experiencing that. And this, I'm actually have a couple poems that I was not fully, I felt ready inside of myself to share, but the words came out and it was like so exciting when I was reading it later because I learned what was going on, and it was really powerful to be able to see that. But the first poem that I'm actually going to share, I do believe that it's unfinished right now for editing for tomorrow, but I am going to just share what we've got so far. And it is one of my favorite poems that I've ever created because it's just about my process and my mental health work. And it's actually about my therapist named Natalie. So here we go. Waiting for the door to open. Breathing in psychology today. Tell me why my last relationships failed. She kindly peeks her face out, welcoming me, pointing to the seat. Hi, Anto. Waving me in. She is a gentle breeze. Therapy was surgery and self-work was rehab. My soul, a rolled ankle in the first 5 minutes of my first game with the Boston Celtics. Shitty shout out Gordon Hayward. She tells me it's okay to give random references. It's okay that I smoke weed. It's okay that not always okay. I tell her I don't want to be okay. I want to be happy. She says happy comes and goes, and so does sad, but it's up to me what I hold on to. I've never had someone speak to me like I'm in control of my life. I forget to make session payments, not because I don't appreciate her, but because I'm disorganized. She tells me I don't need to be so hard on myself, to break myself down, or feel not as successful as my brother. I thank her for her time over and over again, needing her to believe in my sincerity. She shows me my own strength when I'm not holding myself down, the Sherpa to my mindset mountain. Setting up for success, sometimes I regress. It is not all fun and games when I'm unpacking nightmares. She doesn't push me to go deeper. She lets me accept myself for who I am. I blame myself for not being enough of a man to build the life she dreamt of. I'm the reason she left. She tried to leave. I didn't let her. Suddenly I'm sitting alone, looking at the 16-cube shelf we assembled together, half empty. I wanted to destroy it. Before my grandfather's passing, he was reaching for me. I ran from him. My legs always seemed to fail me. Number 2, shout out Gordon Hayward. She asked me again, when will you forgive yourself? I want to, soon. But will I forget about the love I have for him? She tells me no. She can be so direct. I go to tell her I appreciate this, and she asks me about my mother. What was that relationship like? It's great now. We meet up for food. It's great. She definitely wishes I was doing something more serious, like an adult job, but it's really sweet to see her. What about your relationship before? She notices I was avoiding her question. That's how I know she's really listening. Try to think back before we pulled the wool over our past eyes to bring in the new life my family has committed to. It was not fun at all. Perfection I was not achieving, failure overwhelming my young soul, bouncing around hyperactive zest for life, nullified to fit her precise goals that would make us all happier if I could just try a little harder in Chinese school, in soccer, in piano, in taekwondo, in school. I always enjoyed the extra and extracurricular. Doors slammed, unhinging, ripped off because of her. Something about closure, every knock on my body, the reminder of who I am not enough. Every time I felt so alone, laying on my bed with more marks, going through the cycle of pain, anger, coping, self-blame, pain, anger, coping, self-blame, pain, anger, coping, self-blame. Couldn't wait to get out, so I left. She tells me nothing this time. She sits patiently as I wipe off every teardrop. Nowhere else to be, just present if I want to add anything. This always happens at the end of the session, I quip, pointing at my crying face. She doesn't respond with laughter, as I'd hoped, sitting still, patiently allowing for me to take in the moment, hoping she will say it's going to be okay. When will you forgive yourself? Anything. Instead, she says, little you has been through a lot. I have, but I'm here now. She smiles and says, "We're gonna have to end for today. We booked for 1.5 weeks. 1 too poor, 2 too far, 1.5 is baby bear porridge." She gets up, opens the door as I thank her for her time. I walk out over to the washroom to wipe off my face. I look in the mirror, drink some water from a tiny cup. I take out my phone to e-transfer her for this session. As I leave, I feel better about being me and accepting that okay is progress too. This is such an important poem to like my whole process as a writer, as a creator. It like adds in like the storytelling elements, I would say, as well as like a lot of the emotional stuff, a lot of like past traumas that I've been working through and like overcoming, and just being grateful. A lot of gratitude is inside of this, you know, just having somebody to be able to share this stuff with. It's like, it means everything to me. You know, I'm very lucky to have found her. Like, it was so random. It was like, okay, I gotta go and to therapy. Let's just look up therapists. And then it was just like, all these pictures of different therapists and stuff like that. And then I just saw her face, and she like, she was an older woman, and I just like thought it was just perfect. And I called her, and she just had like I said at the beginning, like the gentle breeze. It's like when she spoke, it was just like very commanding, and you could feel it, but it was like very smooth and just like present. And she was very present, you know, and that was like exactly what I needed. Just someone who could be there with me. And as I'm going through things in that way. So it's just like, so awesome that I was able to find her. And that's the thing, is like, sometimes I'm like, oh, damn you, internet. And then it's like, but moments like that, I'm like, yo, the internet like hooked it up. Like that would have never happened if it wasn't for an online find like that. So that's like amazing. Really grateful. So a couple things to unpack inside of this, like, you know, walking in there, it was like very nerve-wracking. You know, I talk about like the idea of me just saying things or making random references and things like that. It's like I was still performing for her. I was really trying to like, you know, dance for her so that she would like me, you know. And that was something that I had troubles with as a comedian. Was like, I just wanted everyone to like me, you know. And that's not always great in comedy, you know. Like, you want to be able to love yourself and be strong enough and like be able to be present and like connect to that strength, you know, and be able to not only share your jokes, but like your true personality, that authenticity, like the audience can really see it, you know. And which was so important. And so for her, like when I was in that situation, I just kept trying to be that way. I could be like, you know, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make her impressed with me and stuff. And then after a while, she just kept being present and just kept like telling me, you know, just be honest, be here with me, and would ask me the right questions at the right times. And it just meant everything to me. You know, it was really cool to be able to meet somebody like that. And it's actually helped me with when I'm there for my friends as well too, just seeing that like she doesn't need to have the answers, you know, like she doesn't need to be the one to tell me exactly what's going on or anything like that. All that really needs to happen is that she is just hanging out. She's there listening, and I'm usually able to like figure out what it is that I'm needing. And sometimes she'll, you know, give the perfect advice, but most of the times it's like she'll come in with like the best, like, you know, keywords that I can reflect on things. Like when she dropped the you're now responding instead of reacting, like that like changed my entire perspective of things. I was like, wow, like that's, you can work on that and take the time that you need for that. So that is like key for me. I love that. And then just some of the things that have happened, it was like a progress. It was like I was able to talk about like my relationship and the challenges that I had with that, and like the breakup first, and then it went into like talking about my grandpa and like his passing and like how I blame myself. And like I was like 21 at the time, and I was like feeling as if I never was, you know, putting myself in the position to be there for him when he needed me and stuff, but as he was passing away. And then I spoke about like my relationship with my mother and like my growing up and stuff. And so that was part of like the progress inside of my time with her. And it was just amazing to be able to actually share that inside of the poem. And like, you know, it's like a 4 or 5 minute poem or whatever, but it just was able to encapsulate so much of my life. And that's why I love poetry. I love poetry. I love like jokes. I love like performing and sharing that way, is because you could concise so many like moments of your life into like beautiful words and creations. So I love that. I am not going to forget about this segment though. I have to do this next segment. This is my favorite segment I've been doing lately. It's called Random Items I've Been Finding in My Popo's Closet. Yes. So there's a lot of donations that we were going to give away, like, and then Instead, I'm going to show you guys these, and if you see stuff that you like, feel free to take them. Okay, what do we got here? Yo, this is a cool blazer. Check this out. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. This looks fancy. This looks fancy, guys. This is a fancy one. Old school. This one's cool. I wish I could wear it. It has shoulder pads too, if you like shoulder pads. Okay. Okay. Whoa, we got another one. Was this all her fancy clothes? Look at this one. This one is so dope. Look at this one. It's just like the same kind of, I think it's a blazer or whatever. And then, but look at the flowers. How dope are these flowers? That's amazing. Look at these flowers. Check that out. Awesome. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Got another jacket. What? This jacket's pretty sweet. It's very like, on the sides it has, I think that's, I don't even know what that is. I don't know. It looks like a map or something like that. Map of some sort. It's pretty cool. Nice. Okay. They're all jackets. These are all jackets. Let's see if there's a varying thing. Random jeans. Nope. I think we're going another. Oh, pants. We got blue. We got striped pants. Striped pants. They're actually blue. They're blue, gray, and black. That's what these are. Blue, gray, black. What? Okay. This one is epic. What? This one is so cool. Oh my god, I might have to try this one on. Another blazer. Yes. Yes. This blazer's so sweet. Okay, final thing. We're gonna go one last thing. Okay. I think we got a full jacket. This one's like a full jacket like this. This is old school as well. Oh my gosh. It's so thick. I don't even know when you would wear this. It is made in Romania. This thing is beautiful. Oh, welcome back to thrift shopping with my grandma's old clothes. I'm gonna give those away to donations. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe that. That was awesome. I can't believe how many awesome items, how many great items that she has in here. That's the end of that segment for today, though. There's so many great ones, though. Yeah. Okay, so I do have a couple other poems I really wanted to share. One of them right now is actually one of my favorite ones of recently. It was actually, I wrote it about free flow and like my favorite show. We usually do them every month and stuff like that. So this one was about how like being the host and like creating like space for people was like how it affected me and how it is that I got to the point that I was when I was there. So I really love this one, and it just means a lot to be able to actually have space where we welcome new artists, but we also welcome like seasoned artists, and they kind of like help each other. And then we always have like a hangout after and like kind of talk about mental health and like talk about art and talk about like just like what we've been up to and just be silly together. So this poem was like from that, and it was just such an honor to be able to like host that space, you know. So all right, this one's called Free Flow. Hosting space. I already messed it up. That was one word. Holding space, hosting grace, building bountiful experiences for all, welcoming authenticity of angelic light, shining upon the stage, engage, my hands open, bringing grounding energy. The uncertainty I feel in my regular life disappears, the path so clear, dear to my heart, developing communities, unity enriching me gratefully, filling me with organic mastery. I was recently told that I radiate positivity. It's important that I accept the compliments and also highlight how I got here too. Traumas and emotional work I've done, begun shining under the sun microscope, being burned, opening up in too much, falling into ruts, heart crushed, pick up pieces. The stage saved me. Sharing poetry, laughing along comedic stories that floored me. The healing has progressed. I profess my acceptance of my role. I am the troll in all of this. building, watching, maintaining the bridge, ensuring those who approach are ready. Preparation plus presence becomes essence. Essentially, I challenge to face our fears together. This my life's work. This is my church. My social gatherings collectively celebrating faith, the belief in something greater. This garden as we cross the bridge, filled with annuals and perennials, ready to be picked, sniffed, embraced. Heading to cross the moat, feelings evoke, walking into the castle, conquering fears, forming fulfillment. This journey becomes clear, conscious, collected, conscientious creatives, holding each other accountable bountifully, listening intently, respectfully, patiently, passionately, lay together sweetly, picnic, sun rays, food laid, ants wait. What a beautiful day. We are ready for you to share your story, and that began with me working through mine. The time, space, the continuing love given, participation ribbons, the effort is being celebrated, the intentional steps to creating safety, ensuring everyone can speak at our own pace, in our own preparedness. We value intimacy. That is where we find beauty. The in-between, words and music and movement are the vessels. The stories are truth, how we got here, where we are and where we are going. That's the free flowing. I always felt like that though, that I was like the troll. I was like chilling in the under the bridge, and I'm like, "Yo, what are you guys doing?" And I'm like helping build the bridge and stuff like that. And like people use troll like really negatively online. They're like, "You're always trolling me" and that kind of stuff. But like in the way I see it is like the troll is the one who's helping on the bridge. He's the one building that. He's the one supporting that. He's the one like making, they always ask you 3 questions when you cross. And it's like, well, they're just making sure you're prepared for what's on the other side of that bridge. Like you don't know what you're going to be like seeing on the other side, and you get over there and you're overwhelmed. It's like the troll's like, yo, I got your back. I might look a little bit crazy and out there and a little different, but we're still there supporting the people and like helping the people on the other side as well, making sure that everybody's, that's what they're wanting. That's what you're just joining other people that are on the same wavelength as you. That's kind of like the concept of that. So I always thought of that, and I thought that was such an interesting like connection that I had, because at one point when I was hosting shows, I felt like I was the bridge, but then like everybody started walking on me and like treating me, as if I was just literally a bridge, and then use me kind of thing. Whereas the troll, it's like, if this bridge ain't working anymore, I could still move, and I always appreciated thinking of it in that metaphor. So yeah. I think I got a couple more for you guys. I'm gonna keep rolling with my poems here. I think it's important for me to be able to share like as many of these as I possibly can. So the next couple are actually a little bit more romantically emotional and a little bit more intense, I would say. So that's why I thought that I would do those first 2. But this one's called Again, and it was after one of my relationships had ended, and then I ended up continuing to see this person, and it just felt like wrong, but I just kept doing it, and I didn't understand why I kept doing it, and I just kept like falling back into that same like, and it just was taking from me, and I didn't know what else to do. So that's when I wrote this poem, and quite a lot of other ones from my chapbook were actually derived from that similar feeling. So it's about connecting back to like my worth. Again, you need something again. Message me after X number of months. You ask me for the Raptors stream. Feel it's for you and him again. We went to the game together. It was my birthday. Snap a Polaroid, waiting for the photo to develop when I see you there with him. Instagram, same selfie, different man. Who's the flashback? You ask, I grant. You take, I give. You thank, I grieve. You leave. Again, blinking, squinting, wanting to see clearly, hoping it breaks me so I'll finally get it. You're fucking gone again. I've been disposed again. Unable, unstable, broken fable, stagnancy, fear holds me back again. At least I'm being held. Our 2-year anniversary would have been this week, weekly. I cling to these milestones miles away, so much weight waiting for you again, never arriving again. Driving down your street again, seeing where we crashed, searching for pieces of shattered glass, the only remnants of us together again. How did I end up here again? Broken fender left with all the pieces, assurance payments. It's not you, you say again. Why can't I believe you? When will I believe in me enough to be without you? Until you ask to be friends again. Act excited knowing it's wrong again. Write pained poetry again. Sex filled with regret again. Roundabout en route again. This ride of a lifetime, seeing my picture, no smiling face, screaming in fear. Roller coaster of uncertainty. Loop de loop, back to start. You need something again. Yo, that one is like so interesting because it's not the only time that that's happened in my life, and I've done that multiple times, and I think that that comes from like that fear of abandonment growing up, and so like being able to actually capture that and like put it into a poem, and like that feeling of like chasing something that just like it feels like I'm on repeat. It felt like I was just like loop to loop, like it was just like riding the same roller coaster, and it was just like by that time I wasn't enjoying it anymore, you know, just feeling sick and disconnected from it. So yeah, that one is like, that one hits me hard. I could like feel that one still. That's the beauty of poetry though. Like you're able to capture moments, and that definitely was captured in that way. And yeah, it just helps you reflect on like how far you've come. Like, man, it just feels like forever ago that was, and be able to be thrown back into that through poetry, like it's special, you know. And it also helps me like remember the challenges of what it was, and it makes it so that it's a little bit easier to be like, yo, that didn't work out for a reason, you know. Like it could have you know, sometimes if you don't have poems like this that like help you remember the exact feelings that you had, like you're just gonna end up being like, oh, like maybe I should have been with this person, oh maybe, you know. It's like, no, it's cool that like you're experiencing what you're going through, and like you've come so far, and that's like what that really like shows me. So so this next one, I am on the fence about performing it. I just really love it. I think it's such a great poem, but I don't know if it's what we would specifically do on a slam in that way, because it is like pretty intense. And yeah, this one's about like kind of at a certain point, like because of like my past traumas as a kid and things, like I was having a lot of like getting overwhelmed in emotions, and like was treating my partner so terribly, and like this was like me wanting to like highlight it and like really share what it was like, you know, not only for myself but for her as well, and like how I read this and I just never want to go back to being like this, you know. This was like such an intense experience being a part of this, and like it was just unresolved traumas and like fear of abandonment and all that kind of stuff coming up. So this one's called Antagonistic Demands. There's a heaviness I've always kept from others, never showcasing this pain, how intensely I love, I yearn to possess, insatiable longing for everlasting love, self-care non-existent, blood through damaged lens. I cannot bring them into the depths of my soul and demand them to stay forever. Loving with demands damns us to imprisoning those we want to set free. Sacrifices made, no acknowledgement or appreciation, took advantage, forgetting that I too have been in her vulnerable position. I get rushes, erupting, heart beating, volcano in Bali, smoke on the water, simmering in wake, tourists take pictures, family vacation in our rubble. Pull out maps to these ruins, entertaining the vultures, how much beauty comes from disaster, dormant until then. Monster preying on kindness until she would run from me. The chase began. I am the horror movie antagonist, Jason, Freddy, Leatherface, hunting for all I refuse to give, bloody and chaotic, always return for more, thinking it's all over only to resurrect for the sequel. Anticipation overwhelming. The volcano erupts, trickling, magma, lava cooling. Needed to be some casualties for us to learn these lessons. Speaking through searing lips, I was the Darth Vader to her Luke Skywalker. Feeling the powers of the dark side, I wore the mask, yet she was the one hiding behind the force. Someone I barely knew, parallel paths, both believe we're doing the right thing. Only one of us gets to be the hero. I remove my mask to warn the villagers. Closest precautions presented, warning signs, harm reduction, first aid and follow-up aftercare. I'm seeking contentment, peaceful intention. All I ever can do is my best, resting until the next eruption. So this one I could tell that like I was still going through it at this time. Like I was still seeing that like I was capable of treating somebody this way when I was writing this, you know, like again. And I honestly don't believe that I can do that again. You know, like I wouldn't be able to put somebody through this type of emotional turmoil, emotional abuse, I would say, you know, like it's just really something that I've worked on so much that I don't believe that that's something that I could ever do again. It's like, I really want to break this cycle, you know, like that's just not something that I'm okay with. And it's just like being on the other side of it, like experiencing it, what it was like, it was just overwhelming. And it just took so much of my like zest for life, you know, it just like made me feel so disconnected from like who I truly am, my authentic self. And like, that's like all that I want to do now. All I want to do is like be my authentic self, share that with the world, have other people be themselves as well. If we have disagreements and things, we could connect and figure out how we're able to like, you know, have fun together still and learn from each other and grow. Like that to me is like the most important thing at this time. So it's like, I just can't see myself ever being in this position again of where I was in this poem. But I also really love like the writing in it and the connection of it. So, but yeah, I don't know now the reading it. I don't think I'm going to do that one tomorrow, but that's what this is. This is awesome to be able to like workshop these and connect to this. Before I go into another poem, I've been doing my daily Panfu reading. So I need to obviously, that's just how I do it. I always make sure that I stay consistent. I got a couple that I wanted to share today, so I thought this would be great. So here we go. We got we'll do about 5 or 6, but okay. Confucius say, to prance around putting your tongue on poofy hair is a frolic. Frolic. That's always the worst when you have to say it a specific way and you don't say it the specific way. Okay. Confucius say, cats celebrate with chocolate mouse cake. It's also bad when you have to explain it. Just in case if anybody didn't get it, chocolate moose cake, chocolate mouse cake. Okay, all right. You got it. It's cool. Toronto's been so wet lately. It gets a precipitation ribbon. That one is no, that one's not good. Okay, candy bras are for trick or teat. Stupid. Oh, this one's good. Roadies should call themselves band-aids. That one's great. That one's so good. I went to jail and on my pillow was an imprisonment. It's like a jail hotel. Like that's what that one is. Oh, this one's so killer. When James T. Kirk takes a dump, it's the captain's log. My cousin Luke actually drew one too, and it was like a picture of James T. Kirk on the can, and then in the background of like space behind him, because it was like dumped in there. There's just like a poo flying in the background of that. That's what that one has. Okay. Oh man, I got three nut ones in a row here. Okay, here we go. The cop was nuts, trying to cashew in the act. My God. The angry nut was pistachio. That one's really good. Pistachio. That's like the test is you got to learn how to say both things at the same time. You have to say pistachio and then pistachio, and then you have to say it pistachio. So like when somebody's listening to it, they could hear both at the same time if they listen to it. That's what I aim to do when I'm punning, you know? So I love that I'm telling you the secret to punning is like, okay, so the impatient dessert is pecan pie. Because you're okay, all right. You guys are smart on that. I don't have to keep explaining them. Okay, so last one. You're on the food theme here. Okay, Confucius say, South African meat shop is a Nelson Mandela. That one's so good. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Oh, that happens. I just end up laughing about my own puns all the time. So, oh, great. So that was that was the segment of puns this time, and so yes, it is getting close to near the end of the actual live here. I do have one more that I'm gonna do for you guys. This was probably my favorite one that I've done recently. So I was having a conversation with Jen actually, and we were arguing basically at first that she was like, yeah, I understand. Like I was born ready. And then I was like, that doesn't even make sense. It literally makes no sense because how can you be born ready? It doesn't. So this is my like arguments inside of that. And then some special stuff happens in it. So this one is, yeah, this one was one of my favorite ones. It was day 27, I believe, in the National Poetry Month. And this one I feel really connected to right now. So that's why I think that I wanted to end with this one. It just like made me feel it. And I was really like excited about sharing it. So, all right. I've heard people say I was born ready, and I never could relate. I was born a baby, nurtured to this point. So many years of work, hustle, pains, now approaching life completely differently, even from last year, let alone at birth. This worth never felt. If it wasn't for failures, the roadblocks, building blocks, steps I walked to climb this mountain, maintaining my composure, composition of growth, valuing progress most. Some days, I feel like I'll never get there. Other days, I've arrived. The human experience, ever evolving, involving, revolving, coming and going, hearts glowing, great serendipity, surprise, unknown next steps. In past, I wept. Under carpet, I swept. Challenges, painful initiations, instigations, people pleasing, fearful of confrontations. Now I come from a place of soulful, heart opening, genuine care. Surrounding myself with valuable, impactful light workers, driven to enrich, mindset switch, connecting choices. How do we influence this world? Strength is in the awareness. Peacefully professing, prolific pageantry, eliciting entertaining elements, energetically, emphatically evoking experiences, elevating entranced evolution, participation in humanity's continued consciousness. We are vibration. More powerful every day. The work we have done for so long. That's why there are necessary evils in this world. Highlight the flight across the darkened sky. Attractions, imagined visualizations of inspiration, emotional appreciation. We've come so far for so long. So gratitude. This life can only be celebrated now. So many days of mindless suffering, solidified through stagnancy. I keep my feet moving. This is the answer. The yellow brick road feels daunting until we meet forever friends who are seemingly searching for different things. They may not realize how much we need each other to keep moving, arriving at the collective goal, realizing it was in us all along. So maybe that's why we are born ready is the right saying. This life, this human experience, the lessons, the work is to uncover the beauty, the heart, the brain, the courage, the home that has been there, placed inside our tiny little hearts, the inner child growing, nurturing, caring. I was born ready, and I must continue this discovery. Yeah, that was like the first time ever that I ever started a poem with one like hypothesis or an idea or like a concept in it. And then by the end of it, I actually was able to like change that because of the progress of writing and the openness, I would say, of dialogue and just seeing like what my true perspective was. I think that more so it was the wording of it that irked me. I was like, that makes no sense. You're a baby, you know, like, but deeper that I went into it and figuring that out, it's like, it's kind of like the idea of like dharma or like your true path, being like open to the idea of like stepping into like your true light and what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And that's why it's so important that I always push like myself and my friends and the people closest to me to really have those questions for yourself. Are you in the job or the career that truly nourishes your soul? And like, are you able to like work inside of something that really makes you like believe in like life and like the people around you, and like truly be able to open yourself up and be authentic and love? And that's not always at your job either. It's totally understandable of all the balance that we have to have. Like, it's not like everything I'm doing is always about like, you know, pure authenticity in that way. I understand like the hustle of like the world and the way that we have to do that in. But at the same time, it's like we also need to be nurturing our souls. Like, we can't just constantly work the 9 to 5. You know, like that to me just makes no sense to me. It's just like the idea of spending 8 hours of your day, like just behind it just makes no sense, you know? And in 9 also -5, which is the 9 to 5. In Cantonese, the number 4 is actually death. So 9 minus 5 is actually 4, and that's like death to me, you know? Like the 9 to 5 is like just literally like, you know, you're sacrificing your soul to a certain extent, to be there, just this consistency of like just serving other people in that way. So that's just something that I personally believe in, and I always like do my best to try and figure out ways in which I'm, you know, connecting to my truest self. And yeah, so authenticity, I think, is the word, and that's something that is really great message for me. You know, heading into the slam tomorrow, I'm really excited about it. I'm so hyped to see what everybody brings. At the same time, I have to be authentic. I got to be myself. I got to be able to bring the poems and the pieces of that show my whole self. And yeah, so that's something that I'm really looking forward to. It's tomorrow night. All the tickets I think are sold out though, but there is going to be a waiting list and stuff. So if you guys are interested in it, check out the Human Rights Film Festival Poetry Slam. You can see that on my Instagram at Antopunfu, and I'll be posting up there all the info and that kind of stuff. So thank you guys again for an awesome live today. This was probably the one that I was really enjoyed the most out of all the ones I've done so far. So I really, it's probably because I get to be in my room. I get to chill in my actual room and feel like I'm in my space in this way. So really appreciate you guys checking this out. Whenever you're watching this, just let me know how it is, if which poems that you think that you enjoyed the most, as well as if you guys enjoyed the segments that I've been doing. I'm also open to other segments as well. So I just want to say really appreciate the time that you guys have given to me. And also, I just wanted to give appreciation to myself too. I'm hyped that I got to do this. And if it wouldn't be for me to take the steps to do this, then it wouldn't be here. So yeah, so just gratitude all around, and see you guys later. Thank you.